Hey you beautiful people, welcome back to a new video on our channel Read Travel Become. This right here is one of 2024's most anticipated books to have come out. I remember the first time it was announced sometime in 2023. I was really excited at just the thought of reading the next Matt Haig book. Matt Haig basically wrote, if you don't know, The Midnight Library, which I have recommended on this channel multiple times. It's a great book. I loved his writing. I really like his comfort book also. He was one author in contemporary times and modern times which I was really looking forward to read. And the day it was released, I actually got a copy of my own, and I thought I have to read it, I have to review it, and I have to make a video about how the new book is and whether you should read it or not. I'm gonna share all of my experience of reading this book, if you should pick it up or not. I'm going to tell you a lot of things. There would be no spoilers. I won't give away the plot, but this video is going to be very interesting, so make sure you watch the video till the end. You may never know which thought or fact may resonate with you and change the course of your life. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna talk about the underwhelming aspects of it and then the good parts of the book, the parts that I liked. Overall, I would say I was not very happy with the book because you certainly have a certain kind of an expectation when a writer has written something very profound in one of his books. Midnight Library was one such book which really made you think about a lot of perspectives, a lot about your daily decisions, and I really wanted to explore what this writer has to say through his next book. His writing was very fresh, and I went through some of his interviews and his blogs and his Instagram. He was constantly talking about how The Life Impossible is like his best work, and he's really looking forward to us reading about it and all of those things. But I would say I had a lot of expectations from this book which were not met. I was a bit underwhelmed by reading this book. Nonetheless, it had some merits of its own, which we are going to definitely talk about. But let's first talk about what this book is about. This book is a fiction novel. It's about a central character called Grace. She's a mathematics professor. She's a mathematician. She is grieving. She has lost a child. She's lost her husband. She's pretty old, and she's in a very bad state. She's very lonely. Some years back, she had done some good deed for one of her acquaintances, and now she has found out that that acquaintance, that friend, has died and left her a house in Ibiza. Now, Ibiza, however you pronounce it, it's an island, and she basically gets to know that there is a house for her there. She goes there and she finds out a lot of things about this previous owner, about this previous friend of hers. I think the plot is interesting. I would say the plot is not bad, but the moment the book starts, you read the book from her perspective, and I feel yes, the start of the book is great. The first 20 to 30% of the book is amazing. It's like really pacey and it's very well fleshed out, and some of the sentences are beautiful. Like, they make you really satisfied that yes, you're reading a Matt Haig book. But my problem with the book was that he had to explain every little thing, right? He had to just make some philosophy out of every little situation. That's not how I would love to read a fiction novel. Fiction novel works for me the best when a situation, a character at some point makes a philosophy out of it, rather than every little thing you talk about has a philosophy associated to it. Like, you talk about grief, you talk about death, loss, everything reminds her of some kind of a philosophy, which becomes a bit tiresome. And after a point, the plot thickens. There's a lot of what the hell did just happen kind of a moment, which frankly I did not enjoy. But if you and I felt that the book did not have a lot of depth. The plot was good. It was like a good pulpy fiction read. I wouldn't say I was looking forward to something very profound, especially after reading The Midnight Library, but that did not happen in this particular book. That were the underwhelming parts. But if you talk about the good parts, it's a very pacey book. If you are in a reading slump, if you are someone who's stuck somewhere in reading, you can definitely pick this up. It's like a palate cleanser. I actually was reading a lot of great books, and suddenly I picked this. Maybe that's why the momentum also shifted. I don't know. I read it in a day. It's very easy to read, very easy language, and some of the sentences that Matt Haig uses are very beautiful and profound. I feel it's very tough to write something very simply. To explain something, you can use the best language in the world, you can use the best philosophy in the world and explain something, but it's very hard to use simple words, simple sentences, and then convey something very, very profound, which Matt Haig does beautifully. Like in some parts of the book, some things which he has talked about are really beautiful. Next, the travel aspect of the book is really great. It's like a visual book. He has explained the island. He has talked about a particular rock in these islands. I did Google about the rocks, and I found out more about that place, about the history of that place. So there is a little bit of knowledge there where you can find out about the native inhabitants, of how these people live, how these islanders live, what their traditions are. That way it was good. Visually it was good. You could picture the blue waters, you could picture some energies, you could picture some situations. There is a sailor here, there are different fishes, and different elements in the book which you can picture very beautifully. So that way the book is good. But again, I would say that it did not hold me a lot, and I was really getting to a point where, when does this end, and if it is ending, is there a profound thing associated with it? And the end was also very underwhelming for me. Like I just knew what is going to happen, and it was like watching a 2000s Bollywood movie where the plot and what's going to happen. And I feel the whole conversation around nature and everything did not come naturally to me. I thought it was forced. But yeah, I would still read any of Matt Haig's book. It's just that you expect a lot from some writers, right? So that's why that was my experience. So yeah, you can definitely pick up. I think it's released in India also. It was an early release in the US, I know that for sure. So you can definitely pick it up, and let me know in the comment section whether you liked it or not. Reading is an extremely subjective experience. I would never say that if I didn't like the book, it's going to be the same for you. I just had to share my reading experience with you, of how I read the book, how I experienced the book. But let me know in the comment section what other books you are reading. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video till here. That was the video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.